So in the last video I talked about the layout of formal letters, as in General Training IELTS Writing Task 1 you have to write a letter, sometimes a formal letter, sometimes an informal letter. And in this video I'd like to talk about the layout of informal letters. Now in some ways the layout of informal letters is quite similar to the layout of formal letters, but there are a few differences. First of all, your address will be in the top right hand corner. So you'll write your address in the top right hand corner, but not your name, and you'll write your address on separate lines. Below that on the right you'll have the date, so you'll write the date below your address. Now moving over to the left is where we'll actually start the letter. So notice that in our formal letter example in the last video you had the address of the recipient here, but in informal letters we don't have that. We just get straight onto the greeting, and in this case I've written Dear Jenny. So here you'll have this is the person you are writing to, and you'll always begin Dear and always use a name. So Jenny, Sam, Anthony. It doesn't really matter what the name is, you just need a name. But you will never begin Dear Friend. You have the friend's name. Then we get into the content of the letter, and we'll have the introduction and the main parts and a concluding comment. And you'll use separate paragraphs to begin your letter and for different ideas. I don't really want to focus on the content of the letter too much in this video. I'll do that later on in subsequent videos. In this one I just want to look at the layout, and in future videos I'll look at good phrases, introductory phrases, concluding comments, etc. And then we'll sign off, and here I've written best wishes and my name, and you'll end your letter with an informal sign-off phrase. So for example, yours or best wishes or love, which we use to family and close friends. And there is a school of thought that says usually the opposite sex if it's a friend. So I think to be on the safe side, use best wishes. Of course, in real life, if you're writing to a member of your family, you would use love. And in real life, if somebody has written you a letter and they have signed off love, then obviously you can take their lead and sign off love in your reply to them. One more thing to note here, in the actual IELTS test you won't need to write your address and the date. The question will say begin your letter dear and the name. So this information about your address and the date and their positioning is for your general knowledge, and everything else in this layout is for your general knowledge and for the IELTS test.